As we change, we bring this change into this reality. As more of you raise yourselves to meet the challenge, so we can awaken more of these energies. Now, energy is consciousness, and the energies themselves contain the knowledge and the information which is beginning to surface again in your consciousness. So many of you will remember the Atlantean times. You will remember that you communicated with, say, dolphins and whales. You understood these sentient creatures. You could levitate. You could manifest things. You could cause spontaneous combustion by not miraculous means at all. Once you know what you're doing, these things follow. It is a matter of order. Now, I'm looking at a time on your planet when these energies, this knowledge is reawakened and reintegrated into your consciousness. I am not looking at a time when this knowledge will be for the few, but when your whole planet will be awakened to this understanding, which you have simply forgotten. It is not a matter of new information. It is a matter of remembering who you are and where you come from. So you are being asked to change. You are being asked to change in a total way. It is not a matter of small changes, a little thing here, a little thing there. You are really being asked to turn yourselves inside out. There is such a massive shadow which must be cleared, and it is up to workers such as you to focus yourself on that challenge. Those of you who are in the forefront of this, you are rather like a snowplow. You are the thin end of the wedge. You really have, how shall I put it, to a certain extent, I suppose, you have the shitty end of the job. You have an awful lot to do, but nevertheless you are capable of doing an awful lot. That is why you've chosen to come. That is why you've come here for, to really shovel some shit and therefore make some space behind you to make it easier for the others. As in your human body, there are energy lines and meridian lines around your planet, through your planet, which correspond, I suppose, very much to the acupuncture lines and meridians in your body. Where two lines cross, you create a vortex, a tiny vortex if it's two. The more lines that intersect, the bigger the vortex. Therefore, when you have a chakra, you have a large vortex of intersecting energy. It is the same with your planet. Where the most lines cross, there is the biggest vortex. Now, you could say that the plexus in and around the islands that you call the British Isles is the hub of the wheel of plexuses and energies which surround your planet. It has acted in other times like a fail-safe device. In order to activate these chakric points upon your planet, the energies must all cross through the central point. They must all pass through the heart of the pattern. And it's no accident, I would suggest, that Britain and London and Scotland and whatever are one of the major centers for the hybrid bloodlines and the Illuminati on the planet, because they understand the significance of its place, not because of it's a country, but its point on this energy grid. And this is why there are more stone circles and standing stones in Britain, particularly on the western side, than anywhere else in the world per square mile. It's a very, very important place in energetic terms on the planet. And my feeling about this awakening is that this is very, very much involved. I've got a lot more to do on this, to say the least, but I'm sure that the sun is far more than a source of heat. It is a place or an opening, a gateway, where great energetic change and code changes come into this solar system, same with others all around what we call the universe. And I feel that at the elite level, not among the general population, one of the focuses on the sun, or the reasons for the obsession with the sun, is the knowledge of this, right going back to the ancient world. I also feel that the black holes and stuff are also ways that these energetic codes come in and out of this reality. So we're in a situation where there is an energetic change. More and more people are feeling it. Of course, people who are more awake are going to feel it first, but even people you thought were never going to kind of open their minds to this, now they're doing the same. Something's going on, and it's going on in the period that in the 1990s I was told it was going to go on. And we can flow with it, get in the right brain, hey man, and just go with it, and let life take us where it needs to go intuitively, or we can fight it, and in which case we're going to expend more and more and more energy, getting more and more stressful, trying to stay still and to hold on to the way things were, as if the way things were in this manipulated reality are the way things we always want them to be. So this change is giving us even a bigger opportunity to change the nature of the way we see the world and ourselves. And I think it's no accident, the more I understand this, that it's now of all times that this great Orwellian stuff is being thrown at us in every way, in food additives and electromagnetic pollution and manipulation and all the programming and all the surveillance and all the microchipping. It's a response to the fact that they know this change is taking place and they're trying to suppress it so fewer people as possible actually start to lock into it and become transformed by it. Because when we do, we're no longer in a smaller box than they're in, and therefore they're no longer in control. And this whole game of soldiers can just break up because it's a house of cards. It's a house of cards, and we are holding it together. When we go, whoops, thank you very much, not holding that up anymore, bang, gone. We are holding it together. That's the point. It's not that they have constructed this, they have manipulated us to construct it. You cannot solve problems with the same level of consciousness that created them. No, but the same level of consciousness is not where we're going now. We're going to another one to change our reality. And it's a time to choose. A time to choose if we want to flow with this and become the full magnitude of who we are, or whether we want to stay in the box like little frightened mice, saying, oh my God, I can't say boo to a goose, the goose won't like it. Free your mind and let nothing and no one enslave it is a great motto for everyone, I would suggest, including myself. As Mencken said at the start of this event today, I believe that any man that takes the liberty from another into his keeping is bound to become a tyrant, and that any man who yields up his liberty in however slight the measure is bound to become a slave. That's how we got into this. Voltaire, so long as the people do not care to exercise their freedom, those who wish to tyrannize will do so. For tyrants are active and ardent and will devote themselves in the name of any number of gods, religious or otherwise, to put shackles on sleeping men. We have created it because we have become sleeping men and women. We can do things on a physical level, which are a reflection of our changing consciousness, like ceasing to cooperate with the system of control. We've had a discussion outside the White House. We've had a discussion and we've decided this is going to happen. Mass of the people. No, it's not. We ain't doing that. Where's the power? Gone. Gone. The power is with us, and we have been cooperating with the building of our own prison. When we cease to cooperate, the prison can't be built because there's not enough people to do it if the people who are being enslaved don't do it to themselves. As Albert Einstein said, the pioneers of a warless world are the youth that refuse military service. I want to stop war. Well, don't fight then. Don't fight. If they don't fight and they don't fight, where's the war? As used to say in the 60s, what if we had a war and no one turned up? No fripping war. And support our troops, they tell us. The people who say that in the dark suits are sending young kids to the slaughter just to serve their bloody agenda. That's how much they want to support our troops. Sodom. They never fight the wars. Have you noticed that? George Bush declares a war. If he'd have been on the front line when the first bullet was fired in Iraq, he'd have been under a bed in Houston when the second bugger went off. These people don't fight wars. They send young people to fight bloody wars. When they don't, there's no bloody war. That's what we need to do. And it's like religions. So, the guy in another country, the leader, he sends his youth off to war. This guy in this country sends this youth off to war. The two youth fight each other. For what? For two pairs of prats with an agenda that they even know about, probably. If we can move our point of observation from in this world to the out-of-body state, then we change our reality. And in an out-of-body state, we ask ourselves, so often, I say this, what would change this world dramatically overnight is if everyone started doing what they knew to be right instead of what they thought was right for them in the moment. What a transformation that would be. All the time, we intuitively know what is right, but it's like, yeah, but what are the consequences for me? What are the consequences for me, or what's stopping this transformation of this world happening? Because, oh yeah, I think it's unjust, but if I do something about the unjustness of this, what will be the consequences for me? People say to me all the time, insiders, look, I'll give you this information, but don't mention my name, will you? All right, I'll do it then. And when we get to that point where we're doing what we know to be right, instead of doing what we think is right for us in the moment, then everything changes. And what is right for us in the moment? Only what body consciousness thinks it is. In the out-of-body state, when we're in that state, are we saying, oh my goodness me, I ain't half glad that I didn't do what was right there, because I'd have had a bit of a problem here? No, we'd have said, we should have done what was right there, because that was the right thing to do. That's the point of observation when we're out of this program reality. As Martin Luther King said,